Hey everyone, I am Dr. Mrinalini Garg. I am your career doctor. I am a physician turned career transformation coach, and I help female professionals quit their unfulfilling job and land their high paying, joy giving dream job. Um, so let's see. Today is the first Monday of the year, and it's a great way to start the week, start the year. And I have some great stuff for you today. I'm going to focus on helping you figure out if you are promotion ready or not. And I'm going to give you some tips where you can start applying and be promotion ready. Okay. Now, before oh, and let me wish you a very happy new year. I hope you had a great 31st, and I hope that 2020 brings you everything that you desire, the kind of job that you want, the kind of pay that you want, gives you joy and fulfillment, gives you the time to spend with your loved ones, where you are fully satisfied, fully fulfilled in life and your career. Okay, so promotion ready. What does that even mean? So let me first share with you some of the misconceptions about being promotion ready. Okay, a lot of the times, female professionals or any professional for that matter think that promotion is something you have to wait until you have spent a few years in that job, and it just happens, when you're ready, when you have some experience, when you have the expertise. Actually, that is not right. That is not right. And I will explain you why. Promotion, the process of promotion starts on the day you start a job. Here's the thing, when you start a job, right, you don't dream of staying in that same position forever and earning the same kind of income forever. The reason you are in a job is because you have a desire to succeed. You have a desire to better your life, better your career, become a better professional. So for that to happen, you need to have a certain vision for yourself. And that vision is as simple as, where do I want to be in the next 2 years or 3 years or 5 years? You have to have that vision, because if you do not have that vision, then you get stuck in the day-to-day management of your job, and you just keep solving the same kind of problems over and over and over and over, and it just becomes busy work. But when you have a purpose, when you have a vision, when you have a goal for yourself, you become strategic about what kind of projects you want to take, what kind of responsibilities you want to take. So promotion process starts the day you start any job. You have that vision, and then you work toward that vision by taking aligned actions that is going to help you get to that position where you want to be. So here are a few tips I want to share with you, and these are key proven strategies that is really gonna get you more clear on how you can land that promotion or that raise that you think you are eligible for. A lot of the times, female professionals, and I want you to actually take an inventory of your own qualifications, your expertise, your experience, and look at how much you have accomplished, the kind of education you have, the years you have spent in a particular job, the amount of growth you have had in the form of gaining the knowledge and wisdom and creating that resource for yourself with the human resource, right? As you're connecting with people, as you're working with people over the years, you build a kind of a relationship that actually helps you grow and flourish. So you have all that. But if you are in a situation where, in spite of having all of that, you have been stuck, or you are stuck in the same position for the last 5, 6, 10, 15 years, we really need to look at what exactly is going on. Okay, so pay close attention, because what I'm going to share here today is really important. So let's start with tip number one. Okay, tip number one is, do you know what your company's priorities are? Do you know what your company's mission and vision statement is? Do you know why your company exists? Do you know the various buckets that the company measures itself to say that it has succeeded? What are the measures of success? If you do not know, it is really time to go deeper and understand what are those buckets, what are those measures of success. And then once you know those measures of success, and what I mean by measures of success is, a company generally looks at 4 or 5 buckets. So one is financial bucket, right? Profit, loss, the bottom line, the most important, whether we like it or not, because I mean, if there's no profit, you won't have a job. The company won't have money to pay your salary. So bottom line is very important. Then they look at productivity. They look at quality, safety, operations, people development, customer satisfaction. These are a few buckets that company measures or bases its success on. So are you aware of those priorities? Then, does your job tie into those priorities? That's another thing you want to really think about. What you do on a day-to-day basis, does that help your company achieve the goals that they have set for? If you do not know that, then again, it's time to sit down and look at how your work impacts the company's goals. Does your work help move the needle in the right direction for your company's goals? So that is very important, because if you are able to quantify how your work impacts the company's goals, you have great ammunition to talk about when it's time for consideration for a raise or a promotion. Because then you're able to speak in a language where you can make that connection that, hey, these are my accomplishments and this is how I help the company grow. Once you have that clarity, it becomes really easy to create that script in your mind and also speak and share with people who are the decision makers. If you do not have clarity, if you do not know how to quantify your work and connect it with your company goals, you really need to take the time and figure that out. So that's one thing. Let's see. Yes, so I have written, if you are not able to make that connection, understand what is missing. What will you need to do where you can show a direct connection between what you do and how that impacts company goals. So it is very important. The next thing you need to know is really knowing what keeps your boss up at night, right? Because logically, where you are, the next logical upgrade for you would be your boss's position, right? So you need to understand what are the challenges that your boss faces, and in what ways can you help your boss meet those challenges and take some of that responsibility from their plate. Because the more you're able to do that, the more you will be noticeable, the more the boss will know that this is exactly what you're helping with. So it is very important that you know what the challenges are. What else do I have here? Okay, so what would that mean, right? Taking those challenges, it would also mean that now you might have to learn some new skills, right? It might be presenting to an executive group, right? Or it could be learning Excel, or it could be meeting management, or it could be learning about budget. Learn that. Figure out a way to learn that. Maybe your company will pay for that training, or you can pay out of your pocket and maybe request your boss to give you paid time off to do that. But you need to equip yourself with the skills that you will need to really thrive in the next position. I know when you start a job, there is a learning curve. There are a lot of things that you need to learn, different applications, different software. You need to learn about the culture, develop relationships and whatnot. This is all you will need to do when you start a job, but always keep that vision in your mind. Where is it that you want to go? Because if you do not have a path, if you do not have clarity on where you want to be, you will just stay where you are, or you will go in another direction which doesn't even satisfy you, does not make you happy. So it is very important to have that vision. Another thing that is important is being ready to say yes to opportunities that will give you the most visibility. And this could be your boss comes to your office and says, hey, I have a presentation in an hour, but for some reason I'm not able to do it. Can you do it? Say yes and figure it out. Figure it out. Even if you're scared, even if you're scared to death, say yes and figure it out. Because that's how you become confident. Doing things afraid. So be ready to say yes to opportunities that is going to give you maximum visibility to leaders in the organization. Also learn to say no to tasks, to responsibilities that is not going to give you any visibility. Because if you keep saying yes to everything, you will just get busy with busy work, and all the strategic projects which you ideally should be working on would be given to somebody else. So whenever you approach your boss or your boss approaches you with new projects, first understand how is that project going to impact the organization strategically. Because if there is no connection between what you do and the company goals, it is just a waste of time. I mean, seriously, it's a waste of time. So again, having that clarity, this is where I want to be, and I need to know that connection between what I'm doing and how I'm going to impact the company's vision and mission. Let's see, what do I have here? Okay, third one, very important. So let's say if you are a manager and you want to become a director, or you are a director and want to become a vice president, or if you are a doctor and you want to go into administration, become that person before you become the person. I know it is a little difficult to understand this concept, but it is not really that difficult. So let me explain what I mean by that. When you become that person, when you start thinking like that person that you want to become in a few years, you start thinking strategically about what kind of things you would be doing in that role. And you can start with your boss, asking them what kind of work they do, what are their challenges, how does all their work impact the company, how does it impact the customers, what are some things they are doing to make that happen. So start thinking like your boss thinks about different projects, about different programs. take initiative, right? When you are when you have become that person already, you would take initiative because you have a greater understanding of what is going on in the organization. So take initiative, come up with ideas that is actually going to help the company achieve their measures of success. Dress accordingly, you know. Of course, if you're working from home, it doesn't matter how you dress, but if you actually go to the organization in a physical building, just dress like the person that you will be in a few years. You will feel that difference. You will feel that, you know, you are important, you know, you have a certain responsibility, and you have to show up in a certain way to you know, when you become that person. But start before that happens. Assess the skills that you would need to succeed. And again, this is similar to the point that I made earlier. What are the skills that you would need to succeed in your boss's position? Again, it could be budgeting or learning something like Excel. Maybe you'll need to learn about a new software. Whatever it is, anticipate what you will need and get trained on that. Because when the time comes to become that person after you get promoted, there is no excuse. You cannot just say that, oh, I don't know this, and that's why I missed that opportunity. So the more proactive you are about what you would need to thrive in that next level, the better you can prepare yourself for that. Uh, yeah, how will you need to do presentations? Right? If you start observing people who are at your level, and if you start observing people who are at a higher level, you will see that difference, the stark difference between how people in your position would present or show up versus the leaders. So see them, watch them, learn from them, even ask them questions. In fact, I tell all my clients, you know, set up lunch dates with them. Ask them, hey, I would like to meet you. I would like to learn about your career trajectory. You know, what were some of the challenges? You know, what were some of the things that really helped you, you know, massively succeed in your role? What are some things you would not do? They are more than happy to share that with you. But that's how you get all this information that you can start internalizing and applying, you know, as you are getting ready for that position. Uh, yes, and you know, with leaders, it again depends. Sometimes they'll buy you lunch, but I say that you offer to pay for lunch. But you know, it all depends on the leaders, and there's no right or wrong about it. But be ready to pay a few dollars for lunch to get those nuggets of wisdom from them. And here's a bonus tip for you. Okay, read the annual report of your company. Nobody reads that, but there is so much wealth of information in the annual report, and you can access that on your company's website. Every company, I'm sure there must be some exceptions, but find out that annual report. It's going to tell you where the company is doing really well. It'll tell you what are the gaps and what are the goals for future. And again, start thinking about how you can help your company grow more, how you can help you know, reduce the gaps, and how you can help the company meet the future goals. Because the more you think in that direction, the more it's going to help you figure out how your day would look like today in this position. So annual reports are not the most fun to read, but you will get so much out of them. You will get so much out of them. So take the time to read the company's annual report. And this also comes handy when you are interviewing for another company and you read their annual report, and you will have so much stuff to talk about. You will know how to tie your skills to what the company is trying to achieve. So this is a bonus tip, but this is very, 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 very important. So to summarize, the three key steps are, one is figure out what the company's priorities are and see how your job ties with those priorities. And if there is no ties, understand what is missing and fill it with the information that you need to make sure that you can see a direct impact between your work and the company goals. The second thing is, ask your boss what's keeping them up at night, what are their challenges, and take some of those responsibilities from their plate and make their work easier. That way you will be visible. They will know exactly what you're working on. They will know that you are helping out with key things that are needed for the organization to succeed. And you will be on their mind when they start thinking about giving raise or giving that promotion. The third thing is, become the person before you actually become that person. So start thinking, start showing up like that leader that you want to become. Take initiative, dress like how the leader dresses up. Make connections, start meeting with leaders to understand what all is involved in their role. This will give you even more clarity on what all is involved and what are some steps that you can take to get there. And the bonus tip is, read the annual report to understand where the company is doing well, what are the gaps, and what their future goals are. Again, this will give you clarity. This will give you some food for thought to come up with creative ideas to help the company succeed. Now, this is all great. I also want to point out that the one reason that people don't succeed or don't get the promotion, get passed on for promotion or that raise, is because they don't think inside that they deserve it. So understand this. This is very important. When you think about something, it's very external. It's like, oh yes, I want to become a vice president, or I want to switch from, clinical to management. It is all great, but it is at your cortex level. But things start happening when you actually start believing within that you are worthy of that position. If you don't think you're worthy of that position, no matter what you do, you won't get that position. You will be ignored. You will end up doing things that are not strategic. It's just busy work. So to reach that place where you feel worthy, you really need to address your subconscious beliefs, the limiting beliefs that is blocking you from achieving the kind of success that you want. This is one of the biggest things I help my clients with. When you have limiting beliefs, you lack confidence. You play small. You are afraid to take that leap. You're afraid to take bigger responsibilities. You will say no to great opportunities that knock your door. So for example, if you have limiting beliefs that you are not worthy of that position, and suddenly your boss comes and says, hey, can you do this presentation for the board? I have to go because my child got sick or whatever. And if you say no, you just missed your chance, because you are going to think that, oh, I don't think I can do it. I'm not confident. I don't know what to say. No, you just say yes and figure it out. But you can say yes with confidence only if you have addressed your limiting beliefs. You have to have that solid confidence. You need to believe in your inner power that success is your friend. You don't have to work hard to become successful. And that's the first thing that I help my clients with, because once we work on that, once they are out of their head and they actually see the value that they bring to the table and they have clarity on what exactly they want, the process becomes so easy because they know exactly what they want, they know they deserve it, and then all they have to do is, take those steps to get there. It just becomes so easy. So if you feel you are stuck in your job, you've been in that same position for many, 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 many years, these are some great strategies that you can apply. But if you really want to transform your career, if you want to feel joy, if you want to feel fulfillment, if you want to earn that salary that is eluding you for such a long time, set up a call with me. Just schedule a call, because this is your first step. That's gonna it's gonna be like a spring that's gonna just throw you up to where you want to be. Go to unshackledcareerwoman.com/call and set up that career breakthrough call. You will get immense value from this call. You will know exactly what is going on, what is stopping you from achieving your dreams, and this would be your best first step to change your career in 2020. Okay, again, the URL is unshackledcareerwoman.com/call, and you can set up a call and let's talk. Let's transform your career. Let's make a difference in your career and in your life in 2020. Take care. Bye.